non-Islam. I plan to make a separate channel for that, but I don't know how to do that, so this could be relevant to any Muslim or non-Muslim, and it's just anything on my mind. So when I planned this podcast, this was going to be about the Irans and their burnings of Baal statues, but then before I got to that, this giant Middle Eastern bombing happened, in which case basically the whole Middle Eastern is bombed. And it's happened recently, and because I have not prepared for that, I'm not going to comment much on it because I haven't fully done my research and I don't know exactly what's going on in there, and I'm unprepared, so I'll comment that at a different time. This took us all by surprise, and it's just very, very sad, and innocent people and animals are dying, and I want to say it's not good. So, what are my thoughts on Iran burning Baal? Well, first off, I think it's a great thing because Baal is an ancient Canaanite god that's been worshipped for millennia, and a lot of child sacrifices and evil stuff have been done to him. And Iran burning Baal is them standing up because, let's be honest, our Western leaders, they worship Baal, they do things for Baal. And Iran burning them is saying, like, we're not cowards like you, we don't want your disgusting Baal leadership. Like, America's coming in and stuff, and they're like, we see that one country you're supporting that I can't name, and we see what you're doing with Epstein. And they're like, we don't want that, like, we think you're bad people, like, two wrongs don't make a right, like, let's say there's a kid living at home and his dad beats him, but then a murderer comes and says, live with me, it's like, no, you're bad, you're evil, you worship Baal, you have the whole Epstein files, and you're supporting a genocide in that one Arab state, and they're like, we don't want you, and this is the way they stand up. And I think this is something Americans haven't done because Republicans and Democrats support the politicians that do the same thing. And W for Iranians who are living under the regime of the Shah to even burn Baal statues, which is something we haven't done, but they're protesting, like, we don't want you, we don't agree with you guys, like, who said that? So who is Baal? There's many different theories, this or that, but in Islamic theology, he could possibly be a jinn. And here's why. Jinns were ancient gods that were worshipped. I wrote a whole article on this, mentioning Baal and other jinns. And the Quran states you used to worship ancient jinns. Baal fits all the attributes of the jinns. Jinns, they can live for thousands of years. Like, they live longer than us. Humans come and go in their lifetime. So it is very much possible that Baal could have been alive since Egypt. Like, who knows how long they could live, but that's possible. And jinns were able to have all these unique, insane powers, which people viewed them as gods. Now jinns, like us, have free will. They can be good or evil, and they have a hierarchy too. Baal is like the high-ranking jinn, or he could very well be a company, for example, like Amazon, and we humans view it as one entity that we do child sacrifices to, but in reality, it's a bunch of jinns putting on the same mask, the same front. At the end of the day, we don't know Baal is jinn or jinns regardless, and he demands child sacrifices. Now they demand child sacrifices just to make fun of us, to amuse us, to see how far we're willing to degrade ourselves for money and power. To put as a good comparison, it's what a politician would do with a stripper, make her get on her knees, make her lick ice cream from his feet or whatever, and then he just throws some money at her. That's essentially what they do to us. But it's way darker, because I thought, like, if I was a jinn, I wouldn't ask to be worshipped, but let's say I was, or you wanted favors from me, I would not ask for you to kill kids. That's like me going up to a cat and being like, hey kitty, you want to live in my house? Well, go kill some little kid. And like, no, it's sick, it's disgusting. And why would you do that? Not having that, they did that. Let me just highlight this. Around the Islamic regime. So, I'm not sure what the people of Iran think of their regime. Some think it's good, some think it's bad. In my opinion, they're a bit radical Islamic and they're bad. But radical Muslims, but at the end of the day, that's what a war is. It's two demons fighting each other. Like, just because one side is bad doesn't mean the other side is good. It's like if Ted Bundy went to fight the Zodiac Killer. It's like both of you are bad. And essentially, what the U.S. is doing is trying to frame Iran as, see, they're bad, so that means we're good, when in reality it's like, no, you guys are not good. You and your one Middle Eastern country are bombing and killing kids. You roll over the Epstein files, and you're taking our tax dollars, leaving us homeless, a housing crisis, a healthcare crisis, bad roads, bad highways, bad education systems, just to fund genocide. Like, we're both bad at the end of the day. Like, this is something I've noticed in this world, that basically every country, they're all the bad guys. US and Venezuela, both of them are bad. And then each side has a little good redeemable quality that they go, see, that's what makes us good. Like, Iran is like, oh, look at us, we don't sub-worship Allah or whatever. I'm like, okay, you still have a radical Islamic regime, and that makes Islam look bad nonetheless. And they're like, oh my god, look at Iran has a radical Islamic regime. See, we're gonna, it's like, okay, you guys are raping kids. Like, it doesn't make you any good. And at the end of the day, we should just let the Iranians choose. Some of them want the Shah, some of them don't. I don't know. Iranians, they're like us. They don't think in one way. Some like the Shah, some don't. Some like the U.S., some don't. Some like the Jewish state, others don't. Like, just let the people choose. Like, who are we to come in and tell them, oh, this is how you should choose? Like, it's a dictatorial. It's literally the same thing. It's like, rather than having the Shah tell you what to think or choose, we're going to tell you what to think or choose. And people say, yes, but look at some Iranians support the U.S. and stuff. I'm like, yeah, that's some, not all. Others hate the U.S. It's like, just let the people choose. Like, don't come in and tell them what to decide. It's like me going to a house where there are abused kids and being like, alright, kids, so this is what foods you're going to like. This is what political ideologies you're going to support. This is what sports team you're going to support. It's like, no, let them choose. Like, it's sick and disgusting. Like, at the end of the day, are you really doing it because you care about the Iranian people? Are you doing it just because you want to push your agenda and ideology? Like, be honest. And at the end of the day, we need to focus more on our issues. Like, we have a healthcare system crisis, deconstructing highways, homelessness, animal abuse, a bad education system, the list, a job crisis, the list goes on. It's like, we should really be focusing on that. And I compare this with lefties, with black people. So what they did back in 2020 was they tell them, you're oppressed, blah blah blah. And to the Republicans' credit, the people of Iran are oppressed. But they tell them, see, you need us, you're dependent on us, this is how to think, this is what you should do. And then when a black person say, well, no, I don't need you to coddle me, I don't need you to baby me, I know how to think, I know what to do, they'd flip out. And that's why I noticed and the Republicans at the time, rightfully so, they'd criticize the liberals for doing that. And I was like, W Republicans. I'm like, but now you're doing it to the same thing. You're telling them what to think, how to think, and that they need you. So that's my podcast. And ultimately, just let them choose. It would all be simpler if we went and focused on our own issues. That one state would not stand and it would collapse. The people of Iran could figure it out for themselves without a U.S. influence. The USA could not look bad. And then we could fix all the issues we have in our countries. Anyway, that's my podcast. Have a good day, guys.